Alright, Shalom, more praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, the bonus to the apostles and elders, great millstone, salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there, unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Quick show to the spirit. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go straight to the scripture. Then I'm going to go to what I wanted to go to. Ecclesiastes, Sirach 30 and 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Before his friends he shall rejoice of him. I'll read that again. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. So in today's society, we are raised by our mothers. And our mothers don't even raise us. It's a school that raises us. Alright? There's a picture that was floating around. Fathers in jail, mothers in the churches, children in schools. Salakia. So overall, what does that mean? As parents are going through whatever they're going through, the children are being indoctrinated, all right, to believe in whatever the government, the state deems so. All right, that's exactly what's happening. So, in particular, brother had put this up post. Says we totally stalked them. Teachers revealed their creepy tactics to recruit kids to the LGBTQ clubs. This is why a father is very important in a household. All right? This is one of the main reasons why you must have a defense. Because as you send your children to go and get educated into states that really don't really educate them, they just repeat the same thing over and over again and they don't learn properly. They're sneaking around in today's environment and slowly indoctrinating them. Your children. All right? It says leaked material from California Teachers Association Conference, CTA, in Palm Springs have shown how teachers are attempting to subvert parents on their children exclusive in LGBTQ club and tactics for tracking their internet use. So you know how heavy this is right here? So teachers that's supposed to teach your children are using, and it's funny because as I was reading this before I was in and out of sleep, before I was thinking about it. You always see how, all right, when people go to court, there's a way to be. That's why you have a lawyer. And teachers are being trained to take things from an escalated situation to de-escalate it. In other words, if two kids are getting into a fight, a big brawl, they're being taught to use passive language in order to convey to the child. All right, how they talk to the child. So, lo and behold, it was not just for fighting and any other sorts of things, because children got guidance counselors. They always have problems at home, how to talk to them, to be their friend, and this whole notion of you going to the teacher for anything that's going on personally in your life or in your household, that's pretty much brand new. That's why they got guidance counselors and so forth to guide you in your endeavors. That's wicked. All right? That's wicked. Matter of fact, real quick, we go to the scripture. Deuteronomy 28. See if I can remember this one. Deuteronomy 28, and that's a good one right there. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Slakia. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 32. The sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and that eye shall look and fell with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And the key to this particular scripture is no might in your hand. All right. Now, this happened? Yes, it happened several times. It happened in the time of slavery, and it still happens to this very day. You have things called ACS, where people call when it said a child's in danger. They could have the city take that child from you because the children doesn't belong to the parents. The children belongs to the states. All right, and people learn that quickly. But the point is, there shall be no might in thy hand. So now people voluntarily give their children up to the states to get educated. And what they're doing, they're indoctrinating their children. And when they indoctrinate your children, now you have a problem. Okay? Now you got a serious problem. So the fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Jumping down, since I make mention of the key thing. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that a man that is tender among you, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, towards his wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, leaving them what? Unprotected. Because why? When a man teaches his child anything, he grieveth the enemy. Okay? I'm going to read that again. Sirach 30 and 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friend he shall rejoice of him. See the importance of having a father? They know exactly, these devils know exactly what they was doing. That's why NFL and NBA and so forth, they have programs. And these programs that they have is for these children that have no father figure. So they get paid to be a father figure to other people's children. Because the threat is not there. The child's being indoctrinated and feeling safe. People feel safer. All right. There's a lot more to this, but I'm going to go back to the article real quick. It says, the documentary and the audio files from California's largest teachers union meeting at CTA was sent to Abigail Sher, who confirmed the authenticity with 3 participants from the conference. This event was held October 29th, verse 30 through 31st, entitled 2020 LGBT Issues Conference Beyond the Binary Identity and Imagining Possibility. It says topics range from advising teachers on best practice of subverting parents. So they're training teachers to how to calm a parent down. All right, and they don't have no problem with Jake because Jake only have one parent that comes to school. That's a mother. All they gotta do is work on the mother's emotions, and they have them. You know, handling conservative communities and discussions of school principle and gender identity and sexual orientation. Workshops provided at the conference encouraging teachers to create a safe environment that fosters bravery, explore sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, while other taught teachers on how to form a gay, straight, alliance clubs, and other forms of LGBT clubs for middle schoolers. Such clubs were promoted as answering questions on how to deal with meddlesome parents not who might not want their child participating in such a club. One speaker noted the club are not official, so do not hold a roster of members or keep any records. So it goes on and on. There was another point that I wanted to get out of this, but yeah, it stopped right there. Show you the devious, wicked plans of Esau, man. All right. Matter of fact, it's another scripture that came. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go back to that. Psalms 10, maybe 7. Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In secret doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. And that's what we're seeing. The people don't know what's going on. That's why it was on Fox News, I believe. They kept on saying that how teachers unions are calling the FBI to watch over to get the teachers. This is middle America. So now the FBI is watching parents that's coming against what their child's being taught. Then that's a problem. So it's probably set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draw them into his net. And the institutions that they have installed is exactly for that. All right. Isaiah 10. I want to go to the point. But I should start on one. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, because the father out the house. And that's twofold. That's actually talking about us brothers that's in the truth. All right, we're the fatherless, and the Most High is our Father, and it's also the actual fatherless. So now I'm gonna finish this off. Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as he were not dead, for he had left one behind him that is like himself. And this is exactly why they didn't want our ancestors to know exactly who they were and exercise the rights of our people, because they will always meet resistance. Okay? While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. So this is what they try to avoid, but what they fail to understand, the Lord is dealing with the elected nation of Israel. All right? The avengers are here. And we clearly see what's going on. So the best advice for any brothers that have children, teach your children the right way. I was looking for one in Deuteronomy tells you, but to teach your sons in generations and generations benefit. Let me see if I can. Let me see if it pops up. And what are you supposed to teach your children? You're supposed to teach your children the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. All right? You're not supposed to teach them basketball, football, and so forth. How to gamble. You know? Teach them things that matters. And what matters is these scriptures. see, generation to generation. Oh, okay. Should be. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe I got it wrong. But see. Oh, yes, I was wrong. I think it's not Deuteronomy. Well, something to that extent. I know there's one in what, Exodus 12th chapter. And then it said if they ask, if the children ask what should you tell them? But this is something that's supposed to be your generation lesson. When you teach your children the right way, your enemy can't do nothing towards you. But since they took that away, since our people are powerless, they take advantage of that situation. But matter of fact, there was another one I saw. Deuteronomy 32 and 5. Let me try that one. Matter of fact, Deuteronomy 32 and 3. Nope. Yeah, let me start that one. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as a small rain upon the tender herb, as the showers upon the grass, because I will publish the name of the Lord. Ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, all his ways are judgment, a God of truth, and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They're perverse and crooked generation. This is this particular generation, because they're being indoctrinated. Matter of fact, was it Proverbs the 30th chapter, I believe? Tells you about this generation, how they curse their father and disregard their mother, something to the extent. So do ye thus recruit the Lord, or foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father have bought thee? Have he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old, and consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy sons, and he will tell the elders, and he shall tell thee. And that's what they remove from Jake, from us, from being a people. All right, the knowledge of self. This was something that was supposed to be passed down to generation. Now you have people out there, mainly Jake, I'm going to talk about, teaches their children how to be gangsters, 3 or 4th generations of gangsters. All right, and it's all just lead death if they have that, period. But we were supposed to be taught the law, statutes, and commandments, and how to spot the enemy. All right. So what happens when you don't, or you're unable to spot the enemy? Things like this. All right. Things like this. Because if you're wise, you could see this right through, and you will remove your children from these schools. Because they playing with your emotions, and they try to corrupt the children. So this is a full-blown war, always with this devil. All right. So this, like I said, it's something real quick through the spirit. Shalom to the elect of the nation. the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.